wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show of people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that must happen under God blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait? It's a time calling. It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that must happen under God blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling, WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show of people. Believe our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that must happen under God blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling, WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait? It's a time calling. It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in, WB. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling, WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show, my people. Believe our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that must happen under God blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show my people. Believe our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will happen under God blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play your role, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait? It's a time calling. It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show my people. Believe our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will happen under God blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show of people. Belize our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB.
Welcome. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize. Morning Vibes on a Thursday morning, the 16th day of July 2026. I'm Nuri Muhammad, the host for this morning's show, and we hope that you'll stay tuned with us. You know, we go through certain steps before we get to the main course. We start with a look at the weather, and then we bring you up to date from the news from our news center. Today we have Miss Michelle Augustine as our forecaster.
Good morning. A gradual improvement in weather conditions is expected during today, and mainly fair weather is expected over the next couple of days. The forecast is for cloudy skies at times today and partly cloudy skies tonight. A few showers, periods of rain, and isolated thunderstorms are likely to continue mostly over central and southern areas this morning, gradually decreasing by this afternoon. Isolated showers and isolated thunderstorms are possible mainly over the south tonight. High temperatures are expected to reach about 88 Fahrenheit along the coast, 90 Fahrenheit inland, and 78 Fahrenheit up in the hills. Overnight temperatures are expected to be about 82 Fahrenheit near the coast, 74 Fahrenheit inland, and 68 Fahrenheit in the hills. Winds are from the east at about 10 to 20 knots, producing moderate sea conditions. A high tide can be expected at 6 minutes after 11 this morning, and low tide occurs at 17 minutes after 6 tonight. The moon will rise at 7:43 this morning, and the sun will set at 6:30 this evening. The outlook for Friday and Friday night is for a decrease in shower activity, with only isolated showers expected. And in the tropical weather outlook, tropical cyclone formation is not expected over our region during the next 48 hours. And in the sargassum forecast, there is a high chance that more sargassum mats will affect beaches across the country during the coming days. And with that, we conclude this morning's weather report and forecast produced at the National Meteorological Service. More information is available
the first
on our
private radio in
website.
Belize since 1989. Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
And now for our news package. Belize has received its first safe third country transferee. The 41-year-old Haitian national arrived in the country on Friday, though reports are that a total of 3 Haitian nationals were set to arrive in Belize as a part of the agreement with the United States government. However, a Belize official has said that one of the other 2 transferees chose to return to his home country instead, and the other opted to make one last bid to extend his stay in the United States. Belize is requesting that prior to any transfer, at least 72 hours notice be given, along with documentations that include the transferee's travel documents, medical certificate, and police report to assist with the vetting. Once in Belize, the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, UNHCR, handles each case, providing financing for the transferees, as well as which will include food and shelter. According to Foreign Affairs CEO Oscar Arnold, Belize has denied some transferees in the last few months. Belize signed a safe third country agreement with the United States in October of 2025. On Tuesday night, Belize Electricity Limited issued a power supply advisory warning of tentative load shedding in multiple parts of the country, including the north and the south, and in the Belize district. It is the second time an advisory is being issued in less than a month, and on both occasions it is due to Mexico's CFE informing BEL that it may need to curtail power due to high demands on their end. On the last occasion, on June 19th, BEL issued an advisory when load shedding had already started, and BEL officials said CEF experienced damage at one of their substations due to lightning. Since the beginning of the month, there has been protests in Quintana Roo against CFE due to power shortages there. On July the 3rd, when BEL held a media energy workshop, BEL Chairman Lin Young said that he was aware of the protests.
Yes, we know of the challenges that's happening in CFE, and really and truly, it's not only CFE. Events throughout the world right now is driving up fuel prices, logistics problems with delivering fuel. There's a lot of challenges there. What we have done is that we are renting about 20 megawatts of generation that we are putting in place at Westlake to cover us so that in the event CFE cannot supply, we can meet it. We had hoped to have that online this month, but again, the war and stuff kind of caught up with us. Some of the deliveries that were supposed to happen got caught up in that whole shipping problem, and so it's late on delivery. So we expect to have that emergency power online around the mid to end of August. Once that comes online and we are not exposed, we won't be as exposed to the CFE situation. We are also looking to try to meet with the IPPs, Babcock, Belcogen, Santander, to see if there's a way that we can enhance the in-country generation in the short term. And of course, we have some long-term projects in place to bring in grid-connected solar. So we're taking the steps necessary to try to deal with the short term through the emergency power, and then we have these projects that will deal with it in the long term.
Today, the Prime Minister John Briceño weighed in on the issue and explained that the government's plan to prevent further load shedding. As we reported on Monday, the Social Security Board plans to acquire 689,655 shares in the Hydro Belize Limited, valued at just under $20 million. It is a secondary market acquisition since the shares are being bought from another investor, Atlantic Bank Management Services Limited, at $29 per share. If the new $20 million acquisition is approved, SSB's total shareholding in the Hydro Belize would raise to just over 2 million ordinary shares, with earlier purchases this year totaling 40.7 million. When questioned yesterday, the Prime Minister John Bresenio said that he believes it is a good plan and that he supports it. Prime Minister of Belize, the Honorable John Bresenio, previously indicated that an audit of the National Defense Ministry should be completed in 3 months. However, an expert has said that that time frame is too short for an audit expanding a decade. The Prime Minister was asked if an update can be provided and if the target of 3 months is still feasible.
If you want to be then you become leader the government. The commander for the ground and the commander for the legion for the first time, I like to see commander for the ground because the food that they're getting earlier, we know already packaged food, canned food, is packaged or
And that's our news package for this morning, the 16th day of July, 2026. There's more news coming up in the program that follows us, that is the Morning Stew. That should come a little after 12 o'clock this afternoon. And there's an update at 3 and then a full news broadcast at 5:15, all on CREM Radio. Here on XTV, we bring you the entire news package at 6 o'clock this evening. It's now 7 o'clock here in our studio. We take a short break and we'll come back. We'll open the phone lines for conversation. A little bit after 8 o'clock, we have activist Jeremy Enriquez as our guest to bring us up to date on a number of matters. So stay tuned. We'll be back.
Informative, accurate, current information. CREM's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The biggest football event in the world is finally here, and Smart is giving you the chance to play and win. Before every match starts, predict who will win. The more predictions you make, the more chances you have to win. Get 1 point towards your total when you guess the winning team. Predict the exact score and earn up to 4 points. The top scorer at the conclusion of the World Cup wins the grand prize of $2,500 in cash. That's not all. Players get a chance to win weekly prizes. Plus, our quarter-final winner gets a watch party package. Play directly in the Smart app for just 50 cents per entry. Prediction starts June 1st to July 18, 2026. Don't just watch the World Cup. Play along and win with Smart. Smart, bringing people together.
This is the general. They just coming again. Yeah, yeah. They just won. They just yo, yo. Hey. Take it low, 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 take it low. Then you wine right there, take your time right there. You do it fine right there. You blow my mind right there. Take it low, take it low, take it low.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Welcome back. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Nuri Muhammad here, back from our break. Very happy to have had an opportunity to spend some time. And sometimes you take a break from here, but you really are not taking a break from work. And so work in another frame was my task for the last month. I'm happy to be back, and we look forward to the conversation this morning. Our number here is 280-5848, 280-5848. 58. As I said, after 8 o'clock, we'll have our guest, Brother Enriquez, Brother activist Jerry Enriquez, just to bring us up to date on his case and a couple of other areas that we want to touch with him. 280-5848. I want to congratulate our sister, Dr. Carla Barnett, who, as you know, has been under fire from Prime Minister Prasad in her insistence that she does not like the fact that Dr. Barnett was unanimously asked to do another term as Secretary General of the CARICOM. She's a Belizean and we're very proud of her, particularly her resilience and standing firm and not being distracted by the Prime Minister of Trinidad. However, the case has been pushed to the point now that it goes to the CCJ, that is the Caribbean Court of Justice, to decide if the process by which Dr. Barnett has become the Secretary General for the second time did it violate any or breach any rule regarding the composition of that body, the Treaty of Chaguaramos, as well as any I guess you would call it can't be illegality because it's not illegal, but perhaps it did not follow procedure as the Prime Minister of Trinidad is alleging. So we hope that she will stand firm. She has been doing an excellent job. This is the reason why all the rest of the Caribbean countries besides Trinidad has said that they want Dr. Barnett to be where she is. I wanted her to be on our show this morning, but her schedule just did not permit that. But we will continue to pursue that because it doesn't have to be today. It can be next week or even the week after. What she has to say about where CARICOM is today is very important. We are in a very interesting position in the development of CARICOM. There are a number of things taking place around us that now is forcing us into being a part of the elder class of nation states. We were kind of considered just this little thing in the Caribbean and called West Indian, and we just, we were all about just tourism. And I'll tell you, a lot of the United States and Europe still looks at us as just a little, you're going out to enjoy yourself and sun and beach and, then kind of thing. And then Belize adds a little eco-tourism and you could go to the jungle and you could even fool around. Look at us, we could even mess around with the animals and things like that. That's how they look at us. They look down at us. But CARICOM has been promoting itself, and I think Dr. Barnett has a lot to do with this. It has become more vocal on a number of issues affecting us in the region. For example, the issue of Cuba. It has not made a strong stand, and I must say, when we listen to Mia Motley, we get this sense that, this is a robust region. This region really flexes its muscle. Not really. Mia Motley is I'd almost say, in a school of her own. I have not seen any of the other prime ministers of the Caribbean reflect that kind of intestinal fortitude that we see coming out of PM Motley. However, we are still drawn into this idea that Mr. Rubio, that is the Secretary of State of the United States, obviously looks at us, he talks those diplomatic words of respect, but their action shows that they still put us on a lower tier than themselves. And the concept of nation state is that we can look into your eye, you look into ours, and we respect each other, sovereignty, dignity, etc. But that's not how we are being looked at. We're still being looked at as a sort of a coming up slowly nation group. And the CARICOM is our collective responsibility. We are supposed to speak with one voice in the CARICOM, but for years that has not been the reality. We have gone out, individual states trying to hustle on their own, trying to make sure their particular country and their country's agenda is fulfilled, rather than that collective idea which Chagaramos was all about. We were supposed to be not only looking at our economic situation as one block, but we were supposed to also be trying to build a collective political identity in this thing called the Caribbean civilization. So the whole idea of Ms. Prasad creating this kind of hiccup in regards to the Secretary Generalship of our sister, Dr. Carla Barnett, I think is, I won't say obscene, but it's an unnecessary distraction. And it distracts us from the fact that America is becoming more aggressive, especially militarily within this region. This region was known as a region of peace, and yet we see this aggressive behavior on the part of the Americans, not only in bombing these boats, which is extrajudicial. These men who were killed, really murdered in their boats, there was no due process. There was just this suspicion and this idea coming from their news centers that these were drug boats and that this was somehow illegal, and so they took the position, which is against the United Nations. This is against the rules of law when it comes to countries relating with each other. You don't have no right to decide from your vantage point that these people need to be bombed out of the sea, and so we're going to just send these high-level missiles and kill these people, with no recourse, with nobody able to sue the government. Maybe they will sue them 10, 15 years from now, because the judicial system is such that you can bring a case 10, 15 years later. There are many examples of that. But as it is now, these people have been murdered, and really, no due course, no due process. Maybe we mention it at the United Nations, but it doesn't go anywhere, because we're talking with this, talking to this very powerful nation that believes that this area belongs to her. And that is the posture of the United States. And most Caribbean countries, because we know that this is Big Brother, we have had to try to maneuver and try to make our people believe that, why, we're not a punk out with the Americans, they're not a control we, But the evidence is that they have a tremendous influence over what we do or what we don't do. And that is a sign that they are in control of this region. And for Ms. Prasad to side with them, to even say, hey, Americans, I will give you the space that you need to be able to launch any attack that you have on areas like Venezuela, to even go in and to, in my opinion, illegally remove the president of that state and take them into your country, which is kidnapping in my estimation, and say, well, you're doing this because you're going to charge him with drugs, and this kind of behavior has been acceptable for quite some time. It's not only with Modero, but it was with, if you could remember some years ago, probably some of you are too young for this, but there was a time when the United States went into Panama and arrested Noriega, who was the leader at the time, charged him with drug trafficking. And I don't think Noriega is dead. I think he's still in prison in the United States. But I'm saying, in this welcome and applauding our sister Carla Barnett, I'm saying that she stands tall within the region as a leader. And I would say the two strong voices in the region right now, both females, I would say, is the Prime Minister Mia Mottley and our sister, Her Excellency Dr. Carla Barnett. And I hope, as I said, that we will get a chance to have dialogue with her. Many times these high-ranking individuals don't have the time. They're so busy and trying to meet so many agendas that they don't take much time for interviews, etc., especially small, maybe CBS America or one of these bigger entities. And so they look at our humble media outlets here in Belize as maybe, Anyway, I'm hoping that she will give us some time down the road and allow us to be able to find out from her. And one of the things I would have brought up with her is the 10-point plan for reparation, which the Caribbean region as a whole, CARICOM as a whole, is presenting, putting together a united position to make claims to Europe and to United Kingdom and other European countries that were part of the enslavement enterprise that resulted in us being here generations and generations after that terrible assault against humanity. And the CARICOM met, heads of government met I believe last week. There was a delegation from Belize headed by our Attorney General, Honorable Anthony Sylvester, and they discussed in detail the 10-point plan for reparation. And it's interesting about this idea of reparation because a lot of us in the Caribbean, while we've been talking about reparations for at least the last 20 years or so, really stimulated by the African states claiming their need or their demand for reparation from Europe. This was done in Nigeria in 1993. We in the Caribbean have launched our own, headed by Dr. Hilary Beckles, outstanding scholar, brilliant mind, very much a man that you should listen to every time you get an opportunity or to read his book on the case for reparation. There's also a case for reparation in the United States. So what we have here are three former colonial entities, that is the African states that were colonized, the Caribbean states that were colonized, and also the United States, African American, that has been colonized. And Dr. Beckles said recently the difference between the Caribbean and the North American or African American, and he was asked the question, why is it that we are right here in the West with the African Americans, why is it that we are not together with the claim for reparation? And reparation means, the root word there is repair, to repair what was damaged, which was taken away by one entity over another. And there have been many cases of reparation, not only this call on the part of Africans, but there have been many. The Jews were compensated or paid reparations after World War II by the Germans, who committed a genocide process on the Jews in the European theater. We also see that the Native Americans have also called for reparation from the United States for what they had done with that indigenous group of people. We've seen where the Japanese were able also to get reparation or reparatory justice done to them because of the American assault on them during the World War II. So reparation, which means compensating for the loss suffered when assaulted by another country, that is a justified position that the Caribbean is taking as well as the North American. So Beckles answered the question, why are we not with the African American? He said that our claim is not for a check. Our claim is for institutional investment in the area of health, education, reduction of debt reduction or elimination, and several other areas which would go into the trillions of dollars really to compensate, and you really cannot compensate. And the reason why a lot of us do not have the kind of sentiment that we have or should have in this matter is simply because we don't know and have not accepted our history of enslavement. There's still a lot of us say, man, you to bring something where you to bring that far. I mean, that years ago, man, 300-400 years, me don't forget that, me not care about that. But in reality, you don't forget about something like that. And it's only because you are not aware about the travesty, the savagery, the way in which Africans were brought across the Atlantic and over a 400-year period were enslaved, our culture decimated. Which culture what we got now? None of we culture, you know, a mixture of cultures that we had to put together, we were totally destroyed. The history says that. So what we have put together, what we call Creole culture, Garifuna culture, these are hodgepodge culture. Our real indigenous culture, you have to go way back to see when the destruction of our culture really started through this 400-year chattel slavery that we were sent through. So Beckles says that we are not looking for a check. However, he says in the American situation, the African American situation, they are looking for financial compensation because they can find a grandfather and a great-great-grandfather alive today that is a victim of slavery. Slavery in the South, slavery in the North, that's another mistake that we make, is that, oh, slavery was only those southern states. So we kind of hate the white people from southern, but in the North we say, oh no, these were the liberals, and then that is bad understanding of real history. That is a wrong understanding of real history. The enslavement was universal. It was accepted directly with lynching, but in other areas it was controlled by discrimination, by white supremacy, by unequal rights to be in school, Jim Crow. The whole experience there is the reason why African Americans are saying, no, we don't want you to just help with institutions. We want you, in fact, to compensate financially those who are victims of this terrible experience known as slavery. So yesterday in Belize, a group met it was chaired by the Attorney General, but it was put together, if I could use that term, by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Francis Fonseca, and that group of Belizeans met to discuss and to look at how and when we can establish a working committee to be a part of that CARICOM committee, or reparations committee that was kind of revived at the last meeting of CARICOM heads of state that took place, I think, last week. So we met, a group of us. I won't name any names. Take my brother's advice, no call, no name. And we will hopefully see that committee which met, as I said yesterday, and will meet again soon to formulate Belize's working committee for the call of reparations. We know that the Honorable Cordell Hyde made a very provocative speech some years ago, but it was just a speech. It didn't go nowhere. It just excited us to hear it, but there was no follow-up. So Belize has been on the back burner when it comes to the whole reparation claim. It started in 2013, now we're at 2026. Tells you how far behind we have drifted in this claim. And the reason is because that committee should have been an educating committee. It should have been a committee being on talk shows, being in newspapers. It should have been an activist community committee to ensure that Belizean people can buy into the idea of why we're calling for reparation. But you can't do that once in a while. You can't do that with one Lee article every 6 months. You can't do that with one Lee appearance on one talk show for 1 year. That can't work. You need to have an educational process where these questions can be answered, and if it is done in a logical and clear presented way, most of our people will buy into the idea that, guess what? Them people owe we, you know, and by right, just like how they pay other people, they should have paid we too. We'll take our first break for 2 cents scam with our brother Brick, and when we come back, we'll keep the phone lines open at 280-5848. Please stay tuned.
WB, and this is XTV. Big respect to our sponsors, 4 Point Security. Well, you know the bridge had a history and the bridge don't last long. But we could find out everybody 2 cents. Alright? If they know the date and the time when the bridge. So question of the day. When was this bridge built?
Right, I don't know the exact date, but it would be in the colonial era.
Now you're 2 cents. 2 cents question of the day. Tell me the year when the bridge built.
1923.
That your 2 cents? History. When was this bridge built?
Well, 1812 or 1826, something like that. Have a blessed day, OG.
Bill.
1922 or 1822, one of the two.
No. Idea. Tell me the year the bridge built.
I have no idea about it.
Say a question here, right?
Yeah.
Tell me when the 6-string bridge built.
1922.
No. Idea, right? When year the bridge built?
This bridge here?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Now you're 2 cents.
Yeah.
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet with the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
El evento de fútbol más grande del mundo por fin llegó y Smart te invita a vivir toda la emoción del mundial. Antes de que empiece cada partido, predice quién se lleva la victoria. Entre más predicciones hagas, más oportunidades acumulas. Suma un punto cuando le aciertes al equipo ganador y si le atinas al marcador exacto, obtienes hasta 4 puntos. La persona con más puntos al terminar el mundial se lleva $2,500 en efectivo. Y eso no es todo. También habrá premios semanales durante toda la competencia. Además, el líder de los cuartos de final se lleva un paquete completo para armar su Watch Party. Participa directamente desde la app de Smart por solo 50 centavos por participación. Las predicciones estarán disponibles del 1 de junio al 18 de julio del 2026. No solo veas el mundial, vívelo con Smart. Smart, bring people together.
Today will be the inauguration of the backup water system. This will be able to assist the Pomona Water Board to expand, and if they get breakdown with the current system, this can also be a backup. There are times when, especially in the dry season, when the current system might run low or might run dry, and that by itself creates a problem to fetch water. So we are hopeful that if this is not used as much right now, when the other system runs low, this will kick in.
We must ensure that people have access to clean, safe, potable water, just like everybody else across this country. What you see here today is an investment of over $160,000. It includes all the pipes that you see here. We also have other accessories. We have a backup generator. We have the solar system. And we also have a booster pump.
The most difficult part that hinders development is the access of water. We have reduced significantly the amount of people that were deprived from accessing a basic need such as water.
I am elated, very happy to be here, receiving the system. I think everybody would be very happy, very happy.
When we call it, we have no water, no nothing. That was an empty spot, but it's home now. They have a pipe right out there, so it's still okay, just that we had to reach up to get the water. I cannot wait to have it reach to our door.
Belize is growing, and as our nation grows, so does the demand for electricity and new energy solutions. More homes, more businesses, more opportunities. BEL continues to strengthen the system that supports this growth, reinforcing infrastructure and solidifying capacity, preparing for what's ahead, ensuring reliable service for homes, for businesses, and for communities across Belize. Keeping the lights on every single day. Belize Electricity Limited, prepared for growth, prepared for Belize.
Catu's Trucking is the one place that can handle all your concrete mix needs. 50-pound sandbags, white sand, sand and gravel, river sand, black dirt, clay and landfill, washed white sand, concrete mix and limestone. We also do land clearing, road construction, and excavation. For all your building and home projects, visit us at mile 14 on the Philip Golson Highway. Call or WhatsApp at 673-1118, 671-9199, or 661-5863. We're open Mondays to Saturdays. Our prices are so good you can't get a better deal anywhere. Catu's Trucking, where we do things right.
When the power goes out, life is disrupted. Be prepared and keep your home powered up with a generator from Benquip. We carry brands such as Honda, Kohler, and JCB. Schedule your installation, maintenance, and assessment to keep your generator ready and waiting to protect your family and home the next time the power fails. Stay in control of your power with a generator from Benquip. Equipment, parts, service.
You're up against some tough challenges. But not all heavy-duty lubricants can handle the pressure. Until now. Introducing Ridgeline Lubricants. A homegrown solution engineered right here to solve the hurdles you face every day. Backed by experts who understand the ups and downs of where you're operating and what's at stake. Specially formulated to protect your equipment so you can push past grueling hours, heavy loads, and harsh conditions to reach for greater productivity. Ridgeline Lubricants. Long live your equipment.
back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. I'm Nuri Mohammed for the Thursday edition of our program. I think one of the most listened to program on radio and television in the mornings here in Belize. We are, well, let me say, we do have a guest coming in the next 15 or so minutes. So let us say a couple more areas that I'd like to explore. Someone called during the break. You can call back now, brother. The number is 280-5848. But what jumps out at me is the Integrity Commission of Jamaica is accusing the Jamaican government of what they refer to as a single source contracts, that 70% of the contracts given out by government is that single source. That means only one group will get that, only one company to get that, while all the other bidders are not there. It sounds familiar, but the point I'm making is that our Integrity Commission in Belize is silent. It is not robust. It's not making noise. And it has the right to do that, and it has the responsibility as an oversight committee. We don't have to wait until there is an audit done. You have that teeth in your legislation that you are supposed to start doing that. The financial units, I'm surprised that everybody's, these regulatory oversight committees are standing on the side asking the government to audit itself and to look into the matter itself. What do you think will come out as a result of that? You've been set up as regulatory oversight committees so that you could operate within the law but outside of government, to be able to go in and to look and see where these irregularities exist. And even though an investigative process is taking place, it does not stop you as an oversight body to go in and to check these things for yourself so that you could report to the National Assembly what you have found. But what seems to be happening here is that government is the one who will investigate government, as opposed to setting up these financial units and these integrity commissions and all these other bodies, which are legislated bodies that should be able to operate on their own. So we're saying that with all of what is going on now, it is region-wide that governments, once they get in, feel the need to be able to adjust so that preferential treatment is given to persons who are doing business with government, and it skews the procurement process. I'm glad to know that the Prime Minister is saying to his cabinet, and by extension to these many officers that run the accounting process of government, that look, you're responsible. If you are a financial officer, then you see the warrant that is given to that particular ministry, and everything that goes out of that ministry, you as the procurement officer, and of course the top of it is the CEO, but the finance officer, he or she sees everything that is going in and out of that ministry, and so they are also responsible to be called to check. The CEOs are there as the original. They have replaced the what they call the permanent secretaries, who was the chief accounting officer, and they are now the CEO is in that responsible position. So you too should be called to check if anything happens in the ministry of which you are responsible for. We have to stop thinking that government is responsible like a private club to one another, and we don't have to make them people. We only go to them people when we want to vote. After we get a vote from UNO, left we alone, man. We got 5 years to do what we have to do. We have to try do all them things that we promise. But please, don't mess with the hustle, because the hustle is how we do it. And is this a PUP thing? It is not a PUP thing. It is in Jamaica, it's in Trinidad, it's in all over the place, that when these governments get in, instead of we turn now. So the idea is, in setting up these bodies and setting up these oversight laws, like the law that the sister Barnett was a part of in some years ago, setting up the financial and audit act. The name of the act might be slipping me now, but it was a regulation that you have to go before the National Assembly if it is over $50,000. At the same time, if it was over $10,000, you must go through the Treasury to ensure that everything is in line. So if you go beneath that, if it's a 5,000, if it's a 6,000, if it's a 7,000, you would cloud up and gum up the system in the Treasury if you had to be going back and forth for all these small amounts, and that's understood. But if you start to do it in such a way that it appears that you are bypassing the system of accountability to ensure that you keep it under a certain amount, and you do that over a long period of time, then you bring questions to mind. Why did you need to do that? And it's not that service was not delivered, because if you prove that service was delivered and that money paid was actually the product that was delivered for that money, then you can't charge anybody. But then there is just the sense of why would you do that? Why would that particular vendor be given preference over other vendors? And so we see this thing with and I'm just reading this now from the Caribbean News Center, talking about the Jamaican Integrity Commission calling the government to check to say that they have discovered through their investigation that over 70% of government business was done in the form of what you call source. The name that they use for it is single source procurement, meaning that only one particular company or one group of companies continue to get all of the services, and that the procurement process of bidding and being able to say I can do less and I can bid is skewed. You can't do that. You cannot come up with a fair system when you're pushing aside all of these other vendors in favor of just some select vendors. So again, I say that what the Integrity Commission of Jamaica is saying is that it happened there too. There was a situation where all these Caribbean countries need to put themselves in check. That's why we have put these oversight bodies there. We didn't put you just to take one salary thing there. You could get money from being a part of the Integrity Commission or the Financial Intelligence Unit, etc. You're not just a window dressing. You got oversight responsibilities, and you are answerable to us as the people whose money is being managed by a group of people we call the government. So it's important to not allow these things to just slip by. Before we take the next break, I'll ask the caller to please call back. I was making a point and I didn't want to stop in the middle of the point, so please, if you want to call back now. I also want to give my condolences to the family of Pastor Godfrey Usher. Very humble brother. He and I were not necessarily friends, but every time we met, it was always a cordial conversation. My condolences to his family. Welcome, caller. Yeah, wa alaikum assalam. Yeah. Thank you for calling back.
I'm on the air.
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes, okay. In relation to reparation, I have always, together with others, activists, revolutionaries, we have been saying that we need reparation. And the reparation, I know a lot of people would say, well, okay, we need education, we need to be able to have social programs etc., etc. I am of the opinion that we need finances because remember during the slavery, the capturing of African people, our ancestors, free people from the continent of Africa, we was dispossessed of everything that sustained human liberty. Everything. Therefore, the Vatican, the Church of England, the insurance companies that insured the slave catchers and the slave drivers and the slave ships, because our ancestors being chattel slaves, that's the way they consider us. They insured those cargoes. Our human brothers and sisters. Therefore, they have to be called into account also on this reparation journey, together with all the European powers. The Eastern slave trade also with the Arabs have to be called into account. Europe, United States, and all of the countries that participated in the genocide, castration, rape, etc., etc., of our African brothers and sisters. And today in the Western world and elsewhere, the effect is still being felt. Now, I applaud the work of Sister Motley from Barbados, and even presently the Ghanaian president, and other forces that is striving towards making that which have been done wrong to get it corrected. But at the same time, this is a grassroots struggle. This should be apolitical. We appreciate government ministers. We appreciate everybody that is coming into the fold to help us. But we do not want it to be a thing in which any government gonna piggyback for any political expediency. By saying that, again, I want to reiterate that we appreciate and we are happy that we could have heads of states looking beyond political party and looking at the human dignity of what transpired to help us in this journey. In relation to what you mentioned earlier, that some of you guys sat and later on would be, you would disclose those. I would say it should not be anything of secrecy. Whoever you met with, just say it out, because we have nothing to hide, we have nothing to be ashamed of, and we have nothing to be kept in secrecy. All of those forces that want to join in the help of what happened to us as African people, and I'm not saying about other people, the Indian people, we know they are Native people, they too, they are our brothers and sisters. But right now it is about African reparation, because after 500 years we are still experiencing poverty, ignorance, all kind of ills, sickness, disease, madness because of slavery in our people, all kind of ill that is too much to mention. So we welcome those forces. Again, the Vatican and many people would have a reservation to say, well, no, why would you call out the church? Keep the church out of it. The church is saintly. No, It was the Vatican bull, the papal bull, that authorized Europe to go throughout the world and did to us and other nations what they did. And the genocide have been in the billions. From they left the shores of Europe, it have been massacred in Africa, it have been massacred in the South Pacific, it have been massacred in the Atlantic, it have been massacred in the Caribbean, here in Belize, all over, in North America, all over, because of the papal or the papal bull. Therefore, they have to be brought to justice. Whoever is representing the Church of Rome would sit on the International Court of Justice's seat, and they will be judged for what they did to African people in particular. There's nothing saintly about them.
All right.
And again, all of the European powers, the diamonds, the gold, the uranium, the rare earth, the knowledge that they took away from us have or has to be returned in perpetuity. I am saying in perpetuity, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be afraid of, because it is facts what I am speaking about. So I applaud you, Brother Nuri, in the effort that you've been doing. As you know, we have been clamoring about this from eon. So just disclose whoever's on that committee with you, and then want to fly by night to piggyback on African people. We know they're on that. It is disclosure, because we want reparation. And when we want it now. And on this note, I want to end, Brother Nuri, and say our brothers and sisters in Honduras, in Tela, is being, right now as we speak, harassed and tortured by the Honduras government. They have the military on their ancestral lands. They have a lot of the brothers and sisters in prison, and we want them to be released. And condolences to our brother Samali Fantamoja. As you know, he passed earlier this week, one of the voices crying out for African liberation and freedom. Thanks for your time, Brother Nuri.
All right, sir.
God bless you. God bless Belize.
All right.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you, Dawood. Yes, I will bring up the matter of what is taking place in San Juan, Honduras, with our brother Jerry Henriquez when he comes on. He's our guest in the second half of the program. I appreciate what the brother is saying. Yes, this has been a call that has been going on for a very long time. This media house is the only one that has really picked up the idea of reparation. And that goes way, 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 way back over 20, 30 years of that call. It was in the Amandala newspaper, it was on Creme Radio, and now on XTV. The call for reparation continues. The government is late in responding to it. But we appreciate that, because, in fact, all of these governments have been late in responding to it. In speaking to David Commission, who is the ambassador to CARICOM for reparation and is responsible for the reparation committee of CARICOM, he has said that, Nuri, listen, all over the Caribbean, we have these committees, but these committees are not functioning the way that we envisioned that they would have been functioning. They have not enlivened their populace or their country in bringing the idea of reparation to the ordinary person. So to a large extent, the reparation committees throughout the Caribbean are full of academics and, very elitist people from the university and individuals who are not on the ground. They're in an elitist position. And they show up to these international forums and they write theses and, you know, they are scholars. But the grassroots people, the ordinary people, are not engaged in this. So we would hope that when the panel in Belize is empowered, that we will get back to this. And it is not the first, because Ambassador Bert Tucker, was the first in 2013 coming back from a similar heads of government meeting like this one that took place last week. At that time, Mr. Seddy Elrington was the foreign minister. Bert came back and was responsible for putting that committee together. And the committee did have a short shelf life, but petered out. Even before Bert's death, it just went dormant. But we need to revive it again, and we need to not make the mistake of making it an elitist exercise with intellectuals that are just enjoying their talking to each other, but rather become a working committee, a committee that will be doing a lot of education to ensure that our people understand this idea of why reparation. All right, we'll take our next break, and when we come back, we should have our guest, Mr. Jerry Enriquez, with us.
It is a distinct honor to be here in Belize for the launch of the Caribbean Development Bank's Basic Needs Trust Fund 11th program, BNTF 11. For more than 4 decades, BNTF has stood as one of the bank's most visible and impactful instruments for community-based poverty reduction. Here in Belize, the legacy is clear. Over the past 25 years, BNTF has completed 79 sub-projects in vulnerable communities at an estimated cost of $23.79 million United States dollars. Through BNTF 11, we have begun a new cycle of investments. This investment of more than $5.2 million United States dollars represents far more than approved financing. It represents a renewed commitment.
BNTF has supported transformative investments in education, water and sanitation, community infrastructure, livelihoods, and social development. Through BNTF 11, we have an opportunity to build on that legacy by ensuring that our investments respond directly to the needs of our people, particularly the most vulnerable among us.
The new school building has made a huge difference for me and my classmates. The improvement to our school have made our learning environment cleaner, safer, and more comfortable. Thank you to the Caribbean Development Bank, with the Social Investment Fund, the government, and everyone else who helped.
No one must be left behind. Not that child attending school in rural Toledo, not the farmer in Orange Rock, not the family in Corozal, not the communities that continue to face challenges accessing basic services.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
So do you think we got a deal?
No one should be up at this time. If you're still up, it's not you. It's your mattress. Because the right mattress changes everything. Sherwood Bedding Luxury Resort Pillow Top Mattress. Sleep better, wake better. Available at Design Depot. All in one place.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Have a vision? We've got what you need. From idea to install, Brothers Habet. All your building needs under one roof.
This is the general. They just coming again. Yeah, yeah. They just won. They just yo. Hey, take it low, 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 take it low. Then you wine right there. Right there, you're doing fine right there. You blow my mind right there. Take it low, 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 take it low. Hey, babina hanuma, wabina punta ah. Hey, babina hanuma, wabina punta ah.
It all seems cool. Hanging on the street. No school to keep you back. No 8-to-5 job to hold you down. No responsibilities. Running things in your neighborhood. Guns, drugs, fame. Even the media calls your name like you're a big deal. Until you're lying on the street, dead. Your mother crying. Kids left without a father. Cause make no mistake, that's where you'll end up. Today, tomorrow, a year from now, 5 years from now. In Belize, when you choose to join a gang, there are only two things in your future: a hole in Lord Ridge or a cell at Kobe. Gang life is no life. Choose to live free and live right. A message from the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Violence Prevention and Enforcement Unit.
The biggest football event in the world is finally here, and Smart is giving you the chance to play and win. Before every match starts, predict who will win. The more predictions you make, the more chances you have to win. Get 1 point towards your total when you guess the winning team. Predict the exact score and earn up to 4 points. The top scorer at the conclusion of the World Cup wins the grand prize of $2,500 in cash. That's not all. Players get a chance to win weekly prizes. Plus, our quarter-final winner gets a watch party package. Play directly in the Smart app for just 50 cents per entry. Prediction starts June 1st to July 18, 2026. Don't just watch the World Cup. Play along and win with Smart. Smart, bringing people together.
Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes on a Thursday morning. It is the 16th day of July, 2026. Mr. Jerry Enriquez actually needs no introduction. I mean, he is really in the news almost every day now over the last probably at least 6 months with the case that he has brought to against the government around the idea of the inequality in the redistricting or the constituencies not being in the balance that they should be in, and this is a requirement in the Constitution every 10 years that we should do an exercise that ensures that we have a certain balance in our constituencies. And what we are faced with now are some constituencies that are a little bit over 1,000 and some that are way beyond 10,000. And so his case has been going through the courts, and so much has happened. And so we're inviting him back once again because a very strong decision was made in his favor recently, and we want him to bring us up to date with that. I'm not seeing him yet. I think that he is being hooked up. Is he there, Harlan? All right, so we're still trying to hook him up, but he is should be with us in a matter of seconds. Yeah, so it's important that we continue to look at this because it's a governance issue, and governance means that the concept means that we are not only being governed by the government, but that we all have a stake in what happens to our country. And this idea of governance says that all elements of the society have a stake. So we should be seeing the voice of the church or the religious communities. We should hear the voice of the business community. We should hear it from the labor unions. We should hear it from independent political entities. Or we should hear it from ordinary citizens like Mr. Jerry Enriquez, who take himself to bring forward these inequalities and these unacceptable anomalies that he has a right as a citizen to bring to the attention of the public, as well as bring to the attention of the government itself. And so this governance concept has not taken on properly with us. Yes, we are still kind of looking for the government to do everything, recognizing that the concept of governance is that we all have a stake in it. All right, are we set? All right, welcome, Brother Jerry. All right, my brother.
Welcome,
Good.
Brother Nuri. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for accepting the invitation. Let's move very quickly since we've lost a couple of minutes there. On the 23rd of March this
21st.
year.
Oh, 23rd, yes.
Yeah, the Caribbean Court of Justice overturned the technical dismissal of 2 of your appeals and reopened the path for your constitutional challenge. What exactly did the CCJ decide, and what happens now?
Well, we took three cases to the Caribbean Court of Justice for final ruling. The first one, or one of the three, is the wasted cost. Recall that during our case for having fair redivisioning before elections was called. So during that period, January to February of 2025, when we knew that the Prime Minister might again break his promise to the people of Belize that there would be fair redivisioning of electoral divisions before elections, and he repeated that between 2020 and 2025. He repeatedly said we cannot, and he recognized that we cannot go to election with this vast, severe distortion of our electoral divisions. He made that promise, and in fact, even shortly after he came into office in 2020, that promise was made. Repeatedly, after we saw that nothing was done, in fact, the Elections and Boundaries Commission were working in secrecy, and what they came up with was an unacceptable resolution to the severe imbalance in our electoral division. So we took that to court. And in fact, before we even went to court, we sent a pre-action letter to the government of Belize to say, if you call election without this is done, you're breaking the law. We found out later in court that the Prime Minister had, as he said in an affidavit, he said he was going to call election. That decision was made in December 2024. He and his colleagues, I don't know what kind of advice they were giving him, but clearly they knew and they wanted to break the law again, and which is what they did. So when we took this to court, for an injunction, we found out very disappointingly that the judge was having conversations and prejudging our case without hearing the rest of our submission. And in fact, when that was brought up to him by my attorney, the judge denied having such conversation. He said, whatever you heard was patently incorrect. Those were his words. And when he made the ruling about our case, we found out that it was based on technicality rather than the essence of the case. And the essence ought to have been to declare that that election was unconstitutional. We felt that the judge was compromised. I reported the judge to the misconduct of the judge to the Judicial and Legal Services Commission. The Judicial and Legal Services Commission found ways to delay and ignored our urgent appeal for an investigation into the conduct of the judge. They kept saying the matter is being addressed, the matter is under consideration for 7 months. And that is why I had to also take the Judicial and Legal Services Commission to court. And the court ruled that their delays and their misconduct was wrong. It was delaying justice. So that was another hurdle in my case. So lots of hurdles that we are crossing to get back to the substance of the matter. And these different institutions who were to safeguard the integrity of our Constitution, in the case that I'm bringing, they kept putting all of these hurdles along the way. Elections and Boundaries Commission, Judicial and Legal Services Commission, the government of Belize, the Attorney General. And so when we took it to the Caribbean Court of Justice, so what the judge did was to impose a wasted cost order on my attorney. A wasted cost order is a serious judgment.
Yeah, for the sake of our people, Jerry, what is a wasted cost? Because it's a technical term.
A technical term that suggests that the attorney is wasting out the court's time and is coming up with frivolous issues but then the other part of that cost was to damage the integrity of the attorney and to try to find ways for him to not continue to practice in Belize. So it is, I find that really disheartening and in fact corrupt for a judge. I find it also retaliatory. After the judge was found out and we reported him, he, without even any hearing, wanted to impose a cost to damage the reputation. And so that cost would be he'd have to pay half of the state's legal cost in our case.
So it's actually a punishment. It was actually a punishment.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in fact, this other strange thing is when we ask the state, what are you spending on your attorneys? What is the state's cost to fight against the people's right to fair representation? That's when the state decided to hide that information. When we appealed to the ombudsman, when we know what happened, when the ombudsman actually
stepped in. Let's stop there because there's a lot to unpack in just that scenario there. So we'll take a break and we'll come right back with Jeremy Enriquez.
When the job demands more, Milwaukee Power Tools are designed to handle the toughest jobs on the construction site. If it's speed, durability, and performance you need, Milwaukee is the perfect choice. For unstoppable power at an unbeatable price, make it Milwaukee. Nothing but heavy duty. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
In many ways, today sets a tone for the months ahead. The theme we unveil this afternoon will become the thread that connects our celebrations across every district. across every community and across every generation.
We have different traditions, food, histories, but those differences don't divide us. Instead, they have become the story we tell together. And that story is what visitors fall in love with. Our barrier reef, ancient Maya sites, and rainforests attract visitors to our shores. But ask them what they remember most. The answer is almost always the same: the warmth of the Belizean people.
Every Belizean has a story. Every Belizean has something to contribute. Every Belizean, in both ways, great and small, helped to shape this nation.
Sometimes, in the rush of daily life, we forget to be grateful. But let us remember, Belize remains a nation that can celebrate many things. Look at me. I am Belize. You are Belize. We are Belize. Let us carry this pride forward. Happy 45th anniversary, Belize.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
This is the general. They just coming again. Yeah, yeah. They just won. They just yo. Hey, take it low, take it low, take it low, take it low, take it low.
It is a distinct honor to be here in Belize for the launch of the Caribbean Development Bank's Basic Needs Trust Fund 11th program, BNTF 11. For more than 4 decades, BNTF has stood as one of the bank's most visible and impactful instruments for community-based poverty reduction. Here in Belize, the legacy is clear. Over the past 25 years, BNTF has completed 79 sub-projects in vulnerable communities at an estimated cost of $23.79 million United States dollars. Through BNTF 11, we have begun a new cycle of investments. This investment of more than $5.2 million United States dollars represents far more than approved financing. It represents a renewed commitment.
BNTF has supported transformative investments in education, water and sanitation, community infrastructure, livelihoods, and social development. Through BNTF 11, we have an opportunity to build on that legacy by ensuring that our investments respond directly to the needs of our people, particularly the most vulnerable among us.
The new school building has made a huge difference for me and my classmates. The improvement to our school have made our learning environment cleaner, safer, and more comfortable. Thank you to the Caribbean Development Bank, with the Social Investment Fund, the government, and everyone else who helped.
No one must be left behind. Not that child attending school in rural Toledo, not the farmer in Orange Rock, not the family in Corozal, not the communities that continue to face challenges accessing basic services.
Electrical. We've got the paints and the brush and light fixtures. That's for sure. We've got steel, cement, and tiles galore. And so much more. We've got everything in that store. We've got windows and doors just for you. In our store. We've got sheetrock, plywood, and hardwood too. That's for sure. Tools for gardening and the great outdoors. And so much more. We've got everything in that store. We've got variety. Everything. Quality. Everything. Quantity. Everything. And builders hardware. And the bolts, so don't forget. And so much more. We've got service with a smile. That's for sure. We've got everything in that store. We've got variety. Everything. Quality. Everything. Quantity. Everything. And builders hardware variety. Everything. And quality. Everything. Quantity. Everything. And builders hardware. Builders who build with a passion and skill. Go to builders hardware.
All right, welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes on a Thursday morning. I've just received a note that our brother Stretch Lightburn, who resides in Canada, has passed. And we come from Almighty God, and we all must eventually return to Almighty God. Stretch was a man of great distinction in Belize. Many of you younger people will not know of him, but those of us who remember Stretch remember him as a walking encyclopedia, not only in terms of music and arts and other things, but the man was walking encyclopedia when it came to the history of Belize. So our condolences to his family, Pulu Lightburn, his younger brother here in Belize, and to all his extended family. He was a good man. Our guest, of course, already in our conversation is another extinguished and distinguished individual, Brother Jeremy Enriquez. And let me just say, Jerry, that we have to be careful in this country that we don't forget people who have made great contributions to this thing called Belize. You being one of them who is still living, but there's so many who have passed, and we kind of like forget them. I'm saying this because, I just got the call from Brother Evan Hyde, another distinguished person who, we are just a society and a people who are quick to forget you. And even though you've made a great, substantial contribution, we don't have our young people echoing your name. And there's something off with that, because our heroes are not necessarily people who are living among us, but they are people who may have died years ago, even centuries ago. When we understand their history, then they serve as sort of lights that we can use to navigate sometimes very complicated life. So Jerry, I just want to, aside from our conversation, to say to you, just hold the fort. I know it must be very intimidating, very costly, and I'm sure sometimes you feel lonely because not too many people may even be interested in an idea of redistricting, but you're holding the fort and you're making a great contribution. Because we've already gotten so deep into our conversation, I wanna cut directly now and start dealing with what did the court say. I'm talking about what did the CCJ say about our own judicial commission here dismissing your case. I think the excuse was something like a lot of technicalities instead of the substance of your case. Please tell us what the CCJ said in regards to what the Legal and Services Commission said about your case.
Okay, first let me also want to echo my heartfelt condolences to the Lightburn family. Polly was my neighbor when I was living in Belize City. I want to extend my heartfelt condolences to his family. And as you mentioned, Mr. X, his tremendous contributions to Belize, I also want to applaud that. It has also, even during my childhood, inspired me when I was following the UBAD movement. I remember part of my bonding experience with my father was reading a mandala on Saturday evenings in PG or Sunday mornings and discussing various things, various articles there. When I had American students, and I used to direct a program, academic director for American students in Belize, one of their assignments was to read them newspapers every week and to write in their journal some comment about what they are getting from the newspaper, especially the editorial and from the publisher. So it was very enlightening to see that impact on the students. So all to say, I appreciate that you mentioned that also, that we must remember people who has made significant, tremendous contributions to our society in shaping not only the physical infrastructure, but also the mental and cultural infrastructure in our country and the awareness that there is. So to your question, sorry I had to put that in, but to your question, the court is starting to repeal. So the court is starting to peel layers of hidden irregularities in our judicial system. And I hope that our judicial system will learn to improve the way we do things in Belize. These hurdles that we're having in our country, even though we might lose our case here, when we go to the court, the Caribbean Court of Justice, it is groundbreaking. They're almost, I would say, amazed at the way judgment is made in Belize. So we're peeling off those layers. For example, even the ex parte, the judge putting his own ruling that my attorney must pay legal costs in a way to punish him. The court dismissed that. It is undermining the whole principle of justice and what the Constitution stands for. So we threw away the wasted cost. It threw out also this almost like an antiquated ruling that even the Court of Appeal made here in Belize to prevent us from appealing our case. The technicality is if the registrar does not sign the appeal, then it cannot go forward. So we're dragging on these kind of irregularities through technicalities.
Yeah.
And the Caribbean Court of Justice said, well, if the rule says signed, sealed, or otherwise perfected, then we could move forward. But here in Belize, I could see how even the justice system can contribute to the decline of our democracy in Belize. And that is what we consistently challenge, and we're crossing these hurdles over and over, and we haven't yet gotten to the substance of the case.
Yeah.
And while that happens, people are forgetting that this government is in office under a corrupt system, and they broke the law to get in. And so we should ensure that this does not happen again. No prime minister, no governor general, no attorney general, no elections and boundaries commission, none of them. It's above the law. The Constitution protects, that is the contract by which they entered office. And therefore, after they swear to uphold the Constitution, then we have to ensure that that is done. And that is my strong. It is beyond redistricting. It is more to call governments accountable, to abide by the contracts by which they got into office, which is the Constitution. That is the sacred law.
Yeah.
This ought not to have gone this long, so many months in and out of court. They're using the people's money to defend against the people's right to the Constitution. And it's a waste.
Yeah. Were you ever given the figures that you requested for how much was paid to these private attorneys, because it went outside of the government attorneys? The Attorney General has access to many attorneys that are paid by government for salaries, but we chose to go outside. Were you ever given the exact amount? I know the Ombudsman came and weighed in on it, but were you ever given the exact amount of how much these attorneys were paid?
Not at all. And there is a reason for it. The government was hiring the office, the legal office of one of its own members, and using the people's money. That is a conflict of interest. So I wasn't given, but there's a deep interest to hide how much of the people's money. People paying taxes, they're struggling. If they miss their taxes, they have to get interest on it and all of those things. While these guys pilfer the public fund and are trying to keep it in secrecy as if it is their own. It is their own account. So no, I was not given that amount, and they're insistent on hiding these amounts. Strangely, we have a government that is hired by the people, but they are hiding information from the people, taking the people's money, are not accounting for the people's money, almost as if they feel like they have that special right to use it without accounting to the people how the people's money is being spent.
Why does it seem as though, and maybe it's a silly question, but I'll ask it anyway.
No, it's not.
When these individuals are in opposition, they have a certain humility, and they are on the side of what is clearly wrong. They're on the side of what is right against what is clearly wrong. But when they get into office, and maybe it's a second term thing, they develop a certain sense of arrogance that is almost personal. And I say that because I know you are respected by many members of the existing government. I know that you're respected. on a personal level, then why would it be that you are being treated as though they don't even know you, and that you don't want enemy from somewhere coming in and trying to disrupt what they do? And I'm not only talking about this government, because it's a pattern that I am talking about of this metamorphosis that take place in the personality of the government when it's in opposition and when it is in leadership. Because, man, during the UDP, and I have to talk to make it look as though another talk against the particular government, because it runs through the whole governance process that you could hire your brother and hire your friend as attorney, pay him hundreds of thousands of dollars for jobs that could be done by right out of the office of the Solicitor General or out of the office of the Attorney General, but to butter the palm of your friends, you put big money in their hand, and then you keep that secret, which obviously suggests that you think that if people find out how much you paid, they would see how much you're trying to reward your friends. Why would they doing this, and I know I name no name, but you know exactly who was paid. Why would they hold that back and then go after you, the ordinary citizen, for daring to ask the question which you really should have the right to know, because it should be published publicly to say, this is what it costs the government on your behalf, Belize. We hired these lawyers to do this. So this is what we pay them. Why is that become an issue that we could hide that information, go to court to protect that information, and then go after you personally, as though you, Jeremy Enriquez, you the fool wrong with something where you better watch yourself? Answer that for me, please.
I think it's, well, let me say this. The government is made up of individuals. Different individuals form and they make that collective culture of what the government is. And the same mind state that they have personally is all pooled together to make up what we're seeing. And that mind state we see over and over becomes arrogance. They're driven by ego, personal interests, family interests, greed, and all of a sudden when they come into office, instead of looking at the welfare, the well-being of the nation as a whole, collective, they're serving the nation. The people hired them to serve. Suddenly, and I think it's also a pattern of ignorance. Suddenly they become lords. I am the boss. I could spend your money. I don't have to tell you how much I am spending of your money. I could take your money, the taxpayers' money, and hire family members, friends, those closely connected with me, and enrich them during the terms of office. Time for make we eat. That is the saddest and pathetic part of our system, because the people who go in there lack integrity, they're not grounded, they're selfish, many of them are greedy, and they twist the truth and information in order to maintain the status quo. When we continue with that, we continue to spiral our whole way of life, our democracy, the quality of life goes down. And that is what is consistently happening. All the resistance to redistricting should not have been a personal choice. That is a constitutional matter. It is a matter of law. It is not for any Minister of Constitutional Affairs to try to twist and to undermine and to seek to misinform about the essence of the Constitution. What is the Constitution saying? That Belizeans should have fair representation, and the votes should be fairly weighed in our democratic system, as is in all democratic systems worldwide. So an acceptable standard of deviation is 10 to 15%. We are at 65% And continuing the unions, the silence of the people also worsens the situation. When people could work collectively, the unions, the bar association, very severely compromised because they are family members who also benefited from scholarships when their political party is in power. So they also benefit from public money to be where they're at. And when they get there, it's almost that they maintain the status quo and ignore everything else because they also have to eat in a sense. And so standing on principles and integrity has failed in many of our institutions. And just sitting on the fence and watching things worsen is like putting a curse on the future generation because we fail to address the matter now and we allow it to continue to worsen. And I don't know this culture of fear. If people know that their collective power can make a difference, just like the teachers could come and say, we shall overcome when it is time for salary. Other groups can come together like them also to say, listen, you're breaking the law and this has to stop. And we are allowing unregistered persons calling themselves political party with no accountability, none of that, to come and further corrupt this country. And we have to make a stand to make this stop. That is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Those who are saying, oh, he just did it to try and get some money. I can't get any money out of this. I lose sleep.
You're the lose money.
To the cause. I'm losing also my own personal resources, but I'm committed. When you have a higher calling to do something, then you have to make that sacrifice. And so I'm not doing this just of my own. It comes from a deeper source. And so when you stand for the truth, then things will work out eventually.
I appreciate your ending with that, Jerry, because you have not indicated anywhere that you are after something personal, and that you're answering to a much higher calling, something that we seem to have lost in our political process. It seems to be, a blood sport. And you have to get in there and do what you have to do to stay on top. And that's what we turn now kind of mentality. So for you to talk about integrity and answering to a higher source, and have values that would put you almost like a David against a Goliath, because the government is a Goliath when it compares to any average citizen. And so for you to pick up the stone of justice and stone it at the head of Goliath, eventually it will affect Goliath. And we applaud you, we pray for you that you are able to maintain, because coming behind you, even though you may fall, is one who is observing you and who has that calling too. And he or she will pick up the mantle, because we are trying to correct something that colonialism left with us. This dishonesty, this ego-driven, this stuff, a me turn now, all of this we inherited from the slave master. And we are just perpetuating in new clothes the same faces and the same behavior and the same attitude that he had towards us. And don't tell me, oh, the British were so good when we were there under the British. And you don't know the history. And that's why you talk like that. If you only know how much we were fleeced and how much we worked for them on their behalf, getting nothing, and them getting wealthy and very much wealthy and continue to have wealth today because of our own deprivation. So for you to stand as you have stood, my brother, in a time when we are 45 years into our independence, and to say that I don't believe in the same old, then you're leaving a lesson for people who will come behind you, who will be motivated to go after this without seeking to get personal fame and money out of it, because that seems to be what motivates us. We want to jump into politics because there's a golden fleece there that we could get some money out of. That ought not to be the reason why we get into public service. So I want to thank you, Jerry, for coming and giving us this update, but at the same time, by leaving us this idea that we are not all sellouts. We're not all looking for a price. You know, we're not a sell we self. We're above the whoredom and prostitution that we see many of our people get into because they're trying to eat something. So thank you, and we look forward. We know we're not asking if we can talk about wellness for a long time.
I know,
but
yeah.
You are a reflection of mindfulness and wellness, my brother. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we look
Thanks very much. I just want to say, well, by the might of truth, we shall prevail. So thank you also for having me. And I encourage the Belizean people to also stand with integrity, demand accountability and transparency.
Yes.
The people who we elect to serve us, we elect them to serve and not to be lords over us.
That's right.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. All right, we're gonna break here because we're over time. We want to thank Larry Guerrero downstairs. We have upstairs Mr. Harlan Wagner and of course Mr. Clifton Lewis. But most important, we had you, and I feel very good to be back once again, and I hope that God will give us the strength that we will continue to do what we do here in the mornings, at least twice a week here on XTV. So Belizeans, stand strong, stand firm, do the right thing. And for now, we gone!
El evento de fútbol más grande del mundo por fin llegó y Smart te invita a vivir toda la emoción del mundial. Antes de que empiece cada partido, predice quién se lleva la victoria. Entre más predicciones hagas, más oportunidades acumulas. Suma un punto cuando le aciertes al equipo ganador y si le atinas al marcador exacto, obtienes hasta 4 puntos. La persona con más puntos al terminar el mundial se lleva $2,500 en efectivo. Y eso no es todo. También habrá premios semanales durante toda la competencia. Además, el líder de los cuartos de final se lleva un paquete completo para armar su Watch Party. Participa directamente desde la app de Smart por solo 50 centavos por participación. Las predicciones estarán disponibles del 1 de junio al 18 de julio del 2026. No solo veas el mundial, vívelo con Smart. Smart, bring people together.
Hello Belize, if you're looking for the perfect home air conditioner, then listen up. First, choose the right tonnage. Correct sizing means perfect cooling and much lower electricity bills. Now, look for efficiency. GREE uses AI-driven performance to optimize cooling and fight high energy costs. Lastly, don't just cool your air. Clean it. Demand health-focused air treatment and smart connected features. Get the global leader in smart home comfort. Contact us today to find your perfect GREE AC.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
This is the general. They just coming again. Take it low.
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet. With the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
People get victimized, that's why together for better we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone.